I am a woodcarver in Gloucester, Massachusetts. I've been up here since 1990. When you carve wood, you go from the outside of a block and you move in towards the design. So that gives you visually, it's a big exercise in terms of seeing design from the inside out or seeing design from the outside in. The tariffs raised the price for the wholesalers. It comes to me, my price has to go up. But the bottom line is everybody who's a retailer is paying for it, not anybody else. Not the other countries, not the wholesalers, not the retailer being me. It's the purchaser who pays for it. My name's David Calvo. I've actually been in this shop since 1996, so that's a fairly long time. I do custom wood carving, so that can be anything from dedication plaques, which I do a lot of for colleges. I've done numbers of them for Harvard. Then I do some fine artwork, wood carvings that have gone inside of inserts in fireplaces, at entry doors when you walk in. Then I teach like sign carving classes, keepsake box classes, blacksmithing classes for blacksmithing their own tools. People fly in from all over the United States. They've come, in the States, they've come as far as Alaska, Hawaii, then all the states on the mainland, and then they've come down from Canada. They have a lot of fun. When your hands are doing something, you tend to drop all the self-protection that we all walk around with. So sometimes this is a train station, meaning people are coming from someplace and going someplace, but they've wanted to do this class, so they'd stop and they take the class. I retail tools during my wood carving classes, and that's part of the three logs on my fire. One is custom work, the second one is teaching classes, the third one is selling tools. All of my suppliers have all said the prices are going up because of the tariffs. I will have to absorb those costs and/or, which I'm also looking for, is to find somebody that can help me forge a set of tools. That being said, all my sharpening stones still come from Japan and China. There's a ton of stuff that still comes from Europe that I cannot make, nor can I replace.
My name is Allie Halliday. I'm a puppet maker, a filmmaker, a photographer, and I sell vintage furniture as my day job. There's a lot and a little that can go into making a puppet. There's sculpting out a form that you then make a pattern out of using masking tape, and you scale up the pattern. Then you have to cut out the pattern out of foam, glue the foam pieces together. But there's like 1,000,001 ways to actually make a puppet, and I think most things, if you move them a certain way, can become a puppet. Art of puppetry, I would say it's, one word is language. It's dance, it's communication, it's storytelling, it's being able to speak without having to speak in words. Yes, tariffs have affected my artwork. I also do rug tufting and punch needling, and you use this specific kind of fabric for it. And I really like this one company that's based in Canada. And I ran out of this fabric, this like backing fabric to tuft into, and I thought, oh, I'll just order more from this company. I love this company. I got a pop-up with an American flag, and it said, to our US customers, we are no longer shipping to the US because of Donald Trump and the tariffs. When you have certain suppliers or materials that you really like, it can change how you make your artwork. And I don't think change is necessarily bad. I think tariffs are bad. But I think overall as artists, we figure out how to make it work.
My name is Allie Keast, and I am a jeweler / metalsmith and lapidary, which is stone cutting.
I'm Yoni Rogoff, and I'm a goldsmith, a hand engraver, and a stone setter.
We met like 3 years ago-ish,
Yeah.
I would say. And because we have such different backgrounds in jewelry and metalsmithing, like you did more of like the trade route and I did the art school route. You know, if I had a piece that I needed hand engraved, or if he needs a piece where, you know, the stone needs to be cut or something. And so we've just been kind of collaborating from there. Working with a client is really, really fun because you get to like kind of bring their vision to life, whether it's like an engagement ring or, you know, just a custom piece for themselves.
I would say my favorite thing to do is probably chain making. I love repeating patterns and geometry and the math involved in figuring out like equations to get exact repeating numbers and everything.
Tariffs have began to affect the jewelry community, I guess specifically the cost of the materials. Just precious metals, gold and silver, have absolutely skyrocketed. This is what $2,500 looks like in gold. And that's a little scary too, because the materials can outweigh the craft and feel like they are outweighing the craft.
I just built a shop in the last few months. I've been assembling it all together, and just like knowing what the price of tools has been over the last like decade, and then going now like these past 2 years trying to get tools, I would go and look at a tool that I would know was a certain price and it would be like 4 times the price. And I just like realized that I couldn't really afford to put a shop together, even though I thought that I had plenty of money for it. I guess the way I'm navigating it is trying to get used tools. Definitely a lot of my big expensive tools I've bought secondhand from people who are local so that I can avoid all the tariffs.
How I'm kind of navigating this change in just general cost is offering people, bringing me their gold if they have it in rings or necklaces or other pieces that they don't wear and it's just sitting in a jewelry box. We'll take that and melt that down, so that way they're only paying labor costs and not material costs. I would definitely say that my business has been affected by just, again, the economy and people being scared of just everything going on and wanting to kind of hold their money tight.
Yeah, right now I'm thinking about making sacrifices in my art, and also I'm just working more. I can't come to my studio as much. I try to be creative every day in my own way, and my job is creative. Selling vintage furniture is creative, but it's not my art form necessarily. It's how I make ends meet. So a lot of my passion has been put on the back burner to just survive.
It's not an item that's in front of people to buy. It's not a necessity. It's not a food. It's not a car. It's not an essential. It's a luxury. I don't see anybody adjusting anything unless they adjust their prices, but I doubt that they would, because our prices tend to be very fair. My price is very fair. It probably should go up a little bit, but I've kept it where it is because I understand that people are financially tight. If there are expenses on their end and they're watching TV and the TV says tariffs are going up and the commentator's saying, this guy doesn't recognize it, but it's you, the consumers, that are going to be paying for the tariffs, then what does everybody do? Everybody shuts the shutters on their house and tries to weather the storm.
We will hear argument this morning in Case 24-1287, Learning Resources versus Trump, and the consolidated case. Thank you, counsel. The case is submitted.